Again.
Can I check the clock?
Welcome back to the Jacked Up Fantasy Football League weekly entertainment show. It is time to recap week 2.
Entertainment show.
It's an entertainment show, dude.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Hosted by the back-to-back league champion. This is my show, dude.
I didn't know I was a fucking monkey. I was here to entertain you fucking
You are.
guys.
It is entertainment for our 11 viewers out there. Hosted by the back-to-back league champion, Archon Tigers, and yours truly, the commissioner. I think that song was kind of appropriate since everyone is pretty much 1-1.
I got my jorts on.
If Zoe's watching?
My jorts. And they're not wet with Tony's fucking beer. This is the exact same outfit I wore in Tampa. I think the chicken wing hit me right here. Fucking.
Can you explain, since this is the second time that you brought up?
He's your friend. He's just.
I don't give a shit.
He's an immature fuck.
Who gives a
And
fuck?
I'll get him in Vegas. You can count on it, buddy.
Okay. Well, yeah, so quick preview for next week. Next week's Week 3 recap show and Week 4 preview show will be coming to you live from the Mirage Hotel and Casino in the beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. Yours truly, the back-to-back defending champion, will be there. And we have confirmed that the Eliminators will be flying in from Denver. And your favorite team in the whole league, TNT.
Oh,
So
yeah.
are you going to wear a poncho?
Well, no, I'll stay a safe distance
Stay away from
him.
them? All right. But I think that's going to be our highest rated show.
I'll have some stripper fucking pee on him.
That should be
I will
our,
pay extra for that. I'll just say, here's $50. Just fucking go piss in that guy's jeans while you're getting the fucking laptop.
his jorts.
She would do it probably for $50. She's got to piss anyway, so why not piss on him? So that's what you got to look forward to, motherfucker.
Something tells me that next week's show is going to be the highest rated show since we started doing this a year and a half ago.
I sure hope
So
so.
anyway, that's next week, but just to tease you guys a little bit with that one. Let's quickly recap week 2 of the Jacked Up Fantasy Football League. The Serve Destroyers squeak out a 4-point victory against the T-Mac Attack. The notes I have for this game is that Joe Flacco struggles. 5 turnovers, 4 interceptions, 1 fumble. Back-to-back weeks he struggled.
Yeah, but I think he, this week, if Jake starts him, he gains some confidence against the Brownies. And,
But dude, Brown's defense is not as bad as people think.
tell someone
on.
I have him, so I do have faith in him. But I think Flacco finds Bolden all day. I don't think we could cover Ray
Why?
Rice.
Because you have Bolden?
That, and I just think Ray Rice, I mean, there's just too many weapons. We got a young defense. I think Ray Rice can have a big game, but let's talk about that
Okay.
when we preview.
That's a preview. I mean, let's stick to week 2
But good
recap.
teams win like that. He had no production out of his quarterback and still won the game. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
T-Mac had a nice game by Frank Gore Monday night and almost pulled it off. And, you know, he didn't watch the game. He didn't realize this. But Frank Gore took himself out of the game after he got the ball like 6 straight times.
Was he at the strip bar?
He drove all the way down. They drove all the way down with Frank Gore, gave him the ball 6 straight times.
Then they give it to the rookie.
He takes himself out of the game because he's exhausted and needed to catch a break. And Anthony Dixon, 2-yard touchdown.
And that cost him the game.
That cost him the game. Unbelievable. But T-Mac is 1-1. Jake gets his first win of the season. He is also 1-1. Let's move on to the Frosty Paws and the Prime Timers. Frosty Paw surprised me here with a high-scoring week.
He pulled it out of his ass. I don't know who. I didn't review that game. Who was his big
Phillip
scorer?
Rivers had 3 touchdowns. Andre Johnson had a great game. He actually got hurt in that game. Went to the locker room, came back, and scored a game-winning touchdown. So,
Congratulations, Andy.
Ryan, yeah, with the Prime Timers, we called this last week. CJ, Chris Johnson, 2 points, had a fumble against the tough
The
Pittsburgh defense.
Pittsburgh Steelers are amazing.
But we knew he was going to struggle. We called that last
He'll
week.
rebound this week.
But I tell you what, my favorite guy from last year and one of your boys from last year, McFadden, has a career game.
Yeah,
150 rushing yards.
You did call that. I'll give you kudos to that.
But the Prime Timers, even with a good game by McFadden, of course, Chris Johnson, he's going to ride him all year. If he has a good game, he wins. If not,
Who else went off for Andy? That's a lot of points. He's
Marino, who is
was it
hurt
the
this
last
week.
night he scored extra points?
Yeah.
'Cause it was a close
Yeah.
game. I
Yeah,
remember that.
the Saints defense on Monday night,
Oh,
they had like
that's
4 turnovers. got like 20-some points. Yeah, it was close up until that because Ryan had the 49ers defense who did shit. So, but Marino had a good game, no Sean Marino, and he gets hurt. We'll talk about that in Week 3 preview. Yeah. But tough break there for the Frosty Paws. But congratulations, the first win. You guys are both 1-1. Actually, the entire division is 1-1.
The whole league seems like they're 1-1, except for the Bulldogs, who are a pleasant surprise.
Speak of the devil. Well, I'm going to call this a pleasant surprise because he beat a guy that scored 56 points.
All the stars are aligning. It's a perfect storm. That's all that matters in this. You said yourself it was luck. So now
it is luck, but now you're not. But you never agreed to me that it was luck.
Well, in his case, I think it is. Have you seen his lineup?
Dude, last week or 2 weeks ago, he played Randy, who scored 70 points. Last week, 56 points. That's 126 points in 2 weeks.
Right. That's what one team scored.
I scored more than that last week, and I lost.
Right.
So it's not, who you play, it's when you play them. So.
Hey, Bulldogs, scoreboard, right? 2-0, baby. That's
Mark,
all you got to say.
Mark, still anxiously awaiting that email on your vote. Maybe by next summer we'll get a vote from you. So I don't need Randy to call me, your agent, to tell me that you changed your email address or whatever. But I texted you 3 times, emailed you. So fuck you, Mark. But congratulations, 2-0. Cocoa Puffs, last second field goal on Monday night. Garrett Hartley wins the game. It was 96 to 96.
Was it a knuckleball kick too?
Dude, it got blocked, but it barely made it over.
No, it did not get blocked. If you saw the, I thought it did, but the way he kicked it was like a knuckleball went right through.
Okay. Well, last second field goal.
For that game.
Last second field goal. Cocoa Puffs gets his first one of the year. But you know what? I'm not impressed with this team at all. Randy, I have to say Randy had some bad luck because Ryan Matthews gets hurt in the first quarter. Doesn't come back. His replacement, Mike Tolbert, comes in, scores 2 rushing touchdowns. He lost by 3. Matthews would have given him more than 3 points.
A lot of games like that this week, it looks like, huh?
So bad luck there for Randy. Actually, if we can go back for a second to the High Flyers, Brett Favre, he's sticking with Brett Favre. He had -1 point.
Oh, did he have? I don't think he's going with Brett Favre this week.
He had him last week, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
-1 point. Does that sound familiar to you?
Yes, it does. We'll talk about that. I offered him Mike Crabtree for Favre. He said no.
Really?
Yeah. I don't understand his thinking there. I guess
you must like quarterbacks that score you 0 or -1 points.
If he was a Cincinnati Bengal, I think he might have said yes. So maybe, what's Cincinnati's third receiver? Is it Cotry? Or is Cotry there? Or Coles?
Lavernius Coles, yeah.
If it was him, do you think he would have did it?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I think his goal is to have the entire. Do you have the kicker for Cincinnati?
Is that Shane Graham or?
See if you get him. Maybe he'll trade you.
You love those Bengals, don't you, Mike? But that's all right.
Well, it makes sense you would want a guy that scored -1 points since in week 1 you got 0 points from your guy. Last week you got 1, and you still win. Your quarterback scores you 1 point, and you still win.
That's all right.
We were at that game. Derek Anderson.
Oh, you're talking about me now.
Well, yeah, our kind
I was kind of in a daze there for a second.
We got plenty of time, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Just welcome back to the show.
How did you go from high? I didn't see how the segue went from High Flyers to me. Yeah, that was quick. I'm sorry. It's only half a beer I've had too.
Welcome back to the show, Zach. Derek Anderson scores 1 point, looks pathetic, and somehow, some way, you squeak out a victory.
That's what good teams do.
Against your cousin, Boban.
Yeah, Boban.
How many fucking nicknames does this guy have? Every time I go on there, he has a different name.
I think he's TNT is my bitch now. I think that's his.
I think his TNT was his bitch, then he was the asshole.
Wow.
This week, I think he's the asshole. The show is brought to you by Heineken Light and Corona. Forgot to mention our sponsors.
Well, let's see this week. I got Bradford going. Let's see if he can get me more than 1 point.
Well, we'll talk about the preview show next after the commercial breaks.
I did say before the season started, if I could go 500 without my starting quarterback, which is Ben Roethlisberger, we'll be in the postseason. Right now, I'm 1-1.
You got to be lucky being 1-1. You have to feel lucky.
I'm happy.
Yeah. 0 points, week 1, 1 point. So Bradford's going to give you what, 2? Double your production?
I don't know. He's had a lot of points every week. I think he's been in double digits every week.
Well, now with your luck. The game of the week. I didn't save this for last because it was me. I saved it best for last because it was the game of the week. And, you know, it's not who you play, it's when you play them. And I happen to play the only team that scored more points than me all in last week's games. I would have beaten any other of the 10 owners except for the guy I played.
But isn't it how your history, that's how it usually goes?
Yeah, it's always a high scoring game. I mean, he goes off against me. TNT had 55 points from his defense.
Wow.
You know, I mean, it wasted a great effort by Javid Best with 49 points. I mean, the guy's got 5 touchdowns in 2 games as a rookie. So,
Well, every score finds a nut once in a while.
dude, he's got 5 touchdowns in 2 games.
No, I'm talking about the Pittsburgh defense and
Oh.
Tony.
No, I got you. So, you know, great game. Definitely the best game so far this year, in my opinion. Highest scoring game. And again, you know, we scored more points than Bulldogs' opponents did the first 2 weeks. So, you know, we call this. We are in the toughest division.
Right.
And that division, if you look at the preview shows with Cocoa Puffs, Bulldogs, Eliminators, High Flyers, that's like the AAA league right there, man.
Man, I don't want to talk crap because
Come on.
we're going to be playing these teams soon. And I'd rather back it up on the field. But I did say TNT by 2 touchdowns.
You did.
Yeah, so-
You did. So you went for the 2-point conversion, I guess.
Right.
Well, that's all the time we have to recap week 2. After this commercial break, we're going to talk about the week 3 preview show. We have some great matchups. It's the last leg of the first round of the division matchups before we go to the interdivision play.
This is where seasons are decided. If you can get a 2-1 start in your division, you're doing good.
Or in Mark's case, 3-0.
And
You're in good shape.
And then who's the team that's 0-2?
Eliminator.
Eliminators.
Good point. Our picks last week, I went 3-3 for the season, 7-5. I have you down as 3-3.
That's fine.
I think that sounds right. So not a good week predicting. So of course,
Well,
some upsets there. I mean,
there's the
I didn't see the Bulldog win.
Bulldog factor in
Yeah,
there too.
yeah,
Come on.
exactly.
That's 2 wins right there that we probably didn't predict.
Exactly. So that's all the time we have. See you guys after this commercial break when we preview week 3 of the Jacked Up Fantasy Football League.
Zoe Belomo,
How do you
you're
feel, Mike?
awesome at drunk texting. The guy's amazing.
Peace.
Here's to Zoe in Tampa.